Hi guys, so this week we're doing our everyday makeup routine, and typically I don't really wear makeup to classes, but we're just gonna do kind of like a simple makeup look, and then we're gonna do a winged eyeliner, which I really like to do to just kind of bring a whole look together, and it makes you look like you spent much more time on your makeup than you might have. So yeah, we're just gonna get right on into it. So I have just washed my face, and then now I'm going to use a moisturizer, which is my Aveeno Clear Complexion Daily Moisturizer. And just going to do one pump of that and moisturize everything kind of nicely. Okay, I think it's always important to moisturize. Even if you're gonna put like a primer on, I think it's important to just make sure that like your face is nice and soft and ready for any kind of like drying product that you're gonna use, especially since I have oily skin. I think it's really important that since I use like mattifying products, that you have to have like really a good hydrated base. And so the primer that I'm gonna use is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. And this smells really good, and I know there are some people out there who just like, they don't really like it, but I really do, and I'm honestly not 100% sure what it does for you, but I like it, and I think it's been really helpful just to like make sure that I'm not getting a lot of product in my pores and everything. And so you're just going to let that sit for a little bit until it gets tacky. So typically on a day-to-day basis, I don't use a full foundation. I'll just use a tinted moisturizer. And I have the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue one, and that's in the shade Vanilla 2. I also use the MAC Next to Nothing Face Color, and this one's really helpful for a little more coverage than like a tinted moisturizer, but not enough coverage to like feel like your face has makeup on it, and that's in the shade Light. But today what I'm going to use is the Hello Flawless foundation from Benefit, and that just looks like that. And this is in the color, I do not know, Champagne. And as you can see, I've used like a good amount of that. And so I'm just going to take this, and I'm actually going to use just a angled flat base brush and just like do 2 pumps of that on that. And then just kind of like, you end up like just kind of pressing it into the skin. I'm actually just going to quickly use my mirror over here. Okay, so after you have that just kind of on a nice even layer across the face, I'm going to go in with concealer. And I have been so loyal, I guess, to the Maybelline Fit Me Concealers, and I typically use 20, which is sand, but I have been using 10 fair kind of underneath my eyes just to like lighten that up. And I'm just going to look over to my mirror again really quick. I do not have the best setup in this room, but that's okay because it's a dorm room. Okay, nice and pretty like that. And then the 20 in sand, and I'm just going to put that kind of like under my chin on any blemishes that I have, and then on my forehead because I have a couple little spots there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back in with that same angled brush and just kind of like tap it out. Okay, and then I'm actually gonna go in with a beauty blender, and well, this is the Real Techniques one, and I'm actually just gonna go in and just kind of like pat everything down. I find you have a better finish when you just kind of make sure that everything is smoothed down and blended out together. Okay. So that's kind of my base, and then what I'm going to do is grab my Kat Von D Lock-It translucent powder, and this is actually really, it's been shaken around a lot. So what I'm going to do is, you can see there's like a ton of powder in there, and I'm going to go back in with that beauty blender and just kind of dip it in a little bit, and then we're going to pat it in and underneath the eyes. It actually doesn't pick up that much product, which I think is nice, because I'm not going to bake. I just kind of want to like pat it in to make sure that I don't get any creases in there. I definitely think like on a night out you'll want to bake that on, but for right now I think it'll be okay just kind of doing that. And then I'm gonna go in with just this big fluffy face brush and just kind of like dip it in a tiny bit, and then like knock off the excess powder because this picks up a ton. And then I'm just gonna go in so much powder, just gonna kind of go in everywhere and set that. Oh. Okay, so now that my face is pretty much matte at this point, I can go in and do a little bit more illuminating and bronzing, and I like to do my whole kind of base before I do anything like on my eyes or eyebrows. And typically I don't do my eyebrows unless it's like a really big event, just because I've never really thought it was super important to do that. So for bronzers, I have this butter bronzer, which I love, and then I also have this Rimmel Natural bronzer, which I also really like. This one's in the color 02 Sunlight, and it's actually got a little bit of sparkle to it, which is super nice. I think today I'm going to go in with the butter bronzer though. And I have this other angled brush here that I like to use just because it's super nice for like kind of carving out the cheekbones. And I actually don't go in with it like typically like when people do it on an actual angle. Like I go in it and with like a full flat, and I just feel like it's really nice because it helps to like cover your full cheekbone. And for me, since I have a rounder face, I think it's important to just kind of get that a little bit of that definition going. And then I put a little bit on my forehead here. I think I got some powder in my contact. That's always super fun, guys. And then what I'm gonna do, next is a little bit of highlighter. And I have a bunch of different highlighters. I have the Wet n Wild, which is the one that Emma uses. I also have the What's Up, which is the other one that Emma used, the Benefit. My favorite, honestly, is the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter. And then also, I really love the Maybelline Master Strobing Liquid, which is an illuminator, and it just comes in this tube. And you kind of squeeze it out on your finger, and it's super beautiful. So I can actually swatch that for you guys. So I don't know if you can see this, but it kind of creates like a natural glow more than like a real pop highlight. But what I'm going to use today is the butter highlighter, and I just go in with this small kind of angled brush here, and just dip it in a little bit, and then you just kind of go straight up the cheekbone. And I don't actually have a mirror. I should have a mirror in front of me so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So you're just gonna go straight up the cheekbone. And as you can see, that gives a really nice, like, yellowish glow, which I just find kind of suits my skin tone better. Okay, so that's the butter highlighter. And then we're gonna go in and do eyes. So for my wing liner, I have two different pens here. I have the NYX, That's the Point, hella fine eyeliner here, and that just looks like that. And then I also have the L'Oreal Super Slim Infallible liquid eyeliner, and that one gives you a longer, like, pen tip. Hey guys, it's Future Julia popping in here just to say that there is a section of the video that actually got cut out, and it's because I didn't notice that my trusty camera here had stopped recording. And so basically it was just me explaining that I used the L'Oreal eyeliner, and that you're gonna find a point on past the end of your eye, and you're gonna draw a line directly from there to the corner, and then you're gonna go back to that outer point and draw a line from there to about the middle of your eyelid, and that's what creates that, like, winged look. And then from there you can pretty much just go in and, like, start filling everything in, and that's what you're gonna see here in this next clip. So the camera just cut out, but what I'm gonna do is fill in all of this extra space where the wing doesn't reach my eyelid. Okay. And then what you can do is go back in and just make the wing even more kind of however you want it to be. So I'm just going to pull it out a little more. And that looks actually pretty good to me right now. It's not a super big wing, but you can see it kind of, like, brings your eye into, like, focus. And so what I'm going to do now is go off camera and try to do this one equally, and I will check in with you guys when I'm done with that. Okay, so these right now is about as even as I am going to get them right now. Typically it takes me a really freaking long time. To do these, and I end up having to, like, redo them multiple times. So that's not super fun. But now what I'm going to do is just go in with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara and just pop that on my upper and bottom lash line. Trusty mirror here. So that just kind of accentuates for me my bottom lash line. So what I'm going to do last is just take some of my trusty, I'm actually going to take the color Jet from this Urban Decay Born to Run palette. And I'm just going to take that and go underneath the lash line a little bit, just to bring everything together. And now that that's done, this is kind of my everyday makeup-ish look. I know it's a little dramatic, and I'm sure there are people who would not wear this on an everyday, but for me, like when I do my makeup, I always feel like I should really do my makeup, and so I like a little bit more drama, a little bit more flair. And so this is the finished look. I'm bring you guys a little closer here. So this is the look. I'm not going to close my eyes because it's really warm in here, and my eyeliner has actually stuck to the top of my eyelid, so that's just not pretty. But yeah, this is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to tune in on Friday for Liz's video and check out Emma's video for Monday if you haven't already. Anyway, but that's it for me, and we will see you next week. Bye.